French women over 60 don't own more clothes than you. They own about 11 pieces they actually wear. And they've made peace with never buying anything else again. Today I'm giving you the 6 pieces French women over 60 always have in their closet. Not trends. Not this season's must-haves. The actual permanent wardrobe that never leaves rotation, no matter what year it is. And I promise you, piece number 4 is the one nobody expects to be on this list. Once you understand why it's there, it changes how you think about everything else you own. Let's get into it. Number 1, and this one you probably already suspected. The crisp white cotton button-down shirt. Now here's what makes the French version different from the one sitting in your closet right now. It's not a blouse. It's not soft, it's not silky, it's not feminine in that delicate way we've been taught to associate with looking put together. It's structured. It has a real collar. The sleeves are a touch too long so she can push them up herself. It's almost borrowed from a man's closet. And that's exactly the point. Why does this work so beautifully for a woman over 60? Because a soft blouse asks for attention. A crisp white shirt commands it. There's a confidence in wearing something with structure. Something that doesn't cling or apologize for the shape underneath it. French women learned decades ago that the white shirt isn't trying to be pretty. It's trying to be correct. And correct, worn with total ease, reads as more elegant than pretty ever could. Styling detail, she never buttons it all the way up. The top 2 buttons stay open and she pushes the sleeves up to the forearm, not the elbow. That small imperfection, that slight undoing, is what keeps it from looking stiff. Perfectly buttoned shirt looks like you're trying. A shirt with the top undone and sleeves pushed up looks like you just don't need to try. Number 2. A single pair of high-waisted, wide-leg trousers, almost always in a neutral like camel, black, or navy. Here's what nobody tells you about French dressing over 60. They are not chasing the body they had at 30. They're dressing the body they have right now. And high-waisted, wide-leg trousers do something almost nobody else talks about. They lengthen the leg line, yes, but more importantly, they create one long, uninterrupted silhouette from waist to ankle. No horizontal lines cutting you in half. No low-rise anything fighting with your midsection. Just one clean vertical sweep. This is the opposite of what fast fashion has been selling women over 60 for years, which is looser, baggier, comfortable cuts that actually add visual bulk everywhere at once. The French approach is the reverse. Fitted at the waist, generous through the leg. It's structured where it needs to be and relaxed where it should be. Styling detail, the trouser should graze the top of the shoe, never pull on the floor and never stop short at the ankle. That exact break point is what separates elegant French trouser from trouser that doesn't fit right. She'll often get a single pair properly tailored rather than own 5 pairs that are almost right. Number 3, and this one has been badly misunderstood for years. The silk scarf. Everyone knows French women wear scarves. What almost nobody outside of France understands is how they wear them, and it's not the way scarves get sold to us. Not folded into a perfect triangle around the neck like a flight attendant. Not tied in a bow. French women wear the scarf almost carelessly, looped once, not slightly off-center, sometimes even used as a belt through trouser loops or tied to the handle of a bag instead of the body at all. The scarf isn't there to keep her warm or to finish an outfit the way we've been told accessories should. It's there because it's the one piece of pure, unnecessary color and pattern in an otherwise neutral wardrobe. Everything else she owns is trying to be quiet. The scarf is allowed to be loud, and because everything around it is calm, the scarf gets to say something without shouting. Styling detail. The knot should never be perfectly centered or perfectly symmetrical. She loosens it, pulls one side longer than the other, lets it sit slightly off. A scarf tied too perfectly looks costume. A scarf tied slightly wrong looks like she wasn't even thinking about it, which is exactly the effect she's after. Quick question for you. Comment below and tell me which of these 6 pieces you already own. I'd bet most of you have at least 2 or 3 of them sitting in your closet right now without realizing they were doing all this work. Number 4. The one I promise would surprise you. It's not a garment at all. It's a men's watch worn on a woman's wrist. No exceptions, no dainty version. Here's why this belongs on a list about clothing. French style has never been only about fabric. It's about proportion and attitude, and nothing communicates attitude faster than a piece that was never designed for you, and that you decided to wear anyway. A large-faced, simple men's watch on a woman's wrist does something almost nothing else can. It makes the wrist look more delicate by contrast, while simultaneously reading as confident, unbothered, slightly borrowed, slightly rebellious. This is the piece that separates women who are dressing to be looked at from women who are dressing because they simply like how something looks and feels on them. A tiny jewel-covered women's watch is trying to be noticed as expensive. A plain men's watch isn't trying to be noticed as anything. It's just there, doing its job, and that quiet confidence is precisely the energy French women over 60 have spent a lifetime cultivating. Styling detail: it goes on the wrist with nothing else. No bracelet stacked around it, no competing jewelry. The watch stands alone, exactly the way a strong idea doesn't need three weaker ideas propping it up beside it. Number 5. The trench coat. You knew this one was coming, but you probably don't know why it actually works. The trench isn't on this list because it's classic. Everything is called classic. It's on this list because of one specific detail almost nobody gets right, and that's the belt. Most women either tie it in a perfect bow at the front, the way it was designed to be tied, or they skip the belt altogether. French women do neither. They tie it loosely off to the side, sometimes just knotted once and left hanging. Never centered, never bow-shaped. Why does this matter so much? Because a perfectly bowed belt looks like a costume accessory. It looks like you're playing dress-up as a woman in a trench coat. A loosely knotted, off-center belt looks like the coat is simply doing its job of keeping you warm, and you happen to look elegant while it did. It's the difference between wearing a coat and wearing a costume of a coat. Styling detail: she often leaves the coat entirely unbelted and open, worn more like a long cardigan over an outfit than a coat in the traditional buttoned-up sense. The trench becomes a layer, not an event. Number 6, and the one that finally puts the whole wardrobe together. A leather flat loafer, almost always in a deep neutral like burgundy, tan, or black. This is the piece that quietly makes every single item before it work. You can have the perfect trousers and the perfect trench, but if you put them on top of an uncomfortable heel or a sneaker that doesn't match the formality of the rest, the whole outfit falls apart. The loafer solves this because it sits exactly in the middle, structured enough to look intentional, flat enough to actually be worn all day, every day without a second thought. This is where French style over 60 actually reveals its whole philosophy. It was never about looking done. It was about looking correct without effort, and a flat loafer is the physical proof of that idea. She's not sacrificing comfort for elegance. She found the one shoe that refuses to make her choose. Styling detail: the loafer is worn with a slightly visible ankle, either through a cropped trouser or a trouser pushed up once at the hem. That small strip of visible skin between shoe and hem is what keeps the whole look from feeling heavy. Now let me pause here for a second and talk directly to you. If you've spent years buying whatever the trend told you to buy, chasing a new silhouette every season, replacing your wardrobe every year hoping the next purchase would finally be the one that makes you feel put together, I want you to really sit with what you just heard. 6 pieces. That's it. Not 60. Not a closet that needs constant refreshing. 6 pieces worn with intention is doing more work than an entire closet full of trends ever did for you. That's not a criticism. That's an invitation to stop and to finally build something that lasts. French style was never about spending more money. It was never about owning more clothes, more shoes, more anything. It was about choosing fewer, better pieces, and wearing every single one of them like you completely mean it. That's the whole secret. Not more. Better. And worn with total, unapologetic confidence. Next time, I'm taking you somewhere completely different. The one-piece Italian women over 60 refuse to ever give up, and it might be sitting in the back of your closet gathering dust right now. You won't want to miss that one.